Hi, I'm Ike McCorkle, retired Marine, Purple Heart recipient, proud father of four, and lifelong Democrat running for Congress against Lauren Boebert. Lauren Boebert calls herself a patriot, and she pretends to support our men and women in uniform. But she's consistently voted against us more than 15 times. When Congress introduced a bill to give veterans a pay raise, Lauren Boebert voted no. She also voted against the PAC Act, denying life-saving treatment to service members like myself who were exposed to toxic environments. Lauren just doesn't give a damn about our veterans, and she doesn't give a damn about our communities either. Please help us kick Lauren Boebert out of Congress for good. Make a contribution today. Semper Fidelis.
But as your Congresswoman, it is my proper role to keep you free. And that is what I am fighting for each and every day, just as each of you have fought to keep us free in the greatest nation that this world has ever known. This is certainly not a political speech. This is to honor you. But you can't help but look and see what is happening when our nation is in the hands of people who do not cherish and love it the way you have shown that you do.
What we just saw was Boebert showing how ridiculous she is. Now we have a real patriot, someone who retired from the United States Marine Corps in Ike. But watch how that district, watch how the Republicans spin it and make this person something other than patriotic. And then go along with someone who does not care about our veterans, as proven by her voting record in Boebert, someone who doesn't care about the Constitution, as proven by her behavior as it pertains to the transfer of power and her support for those people from January 6th who attacked the nation's capital.
Thank you for trusting me to be your voice. It truly is the honor of a lifetime to represent you in our nation's capital.
And they come home, many of the world's fittest and best trained warriors in the world. Never the same. Headaches, numbness, dizziness. A cancer that would put them in a flag-draped coffin. I know. One of those soldiers was my son, Major Boebert.
Yet and still, they'll call this person unpatriotic because that demographic, rural white Americans, do not care about patriotism up when it passes their own interests.
Did you support a bipartisan committee to look into January 6th?
No. I don't think anybody should be looking into people celebrating and standing up for their First Amendment.
No, I just meant what people allege to be a breach of the Capitol. That, you just said we don't know what happened on January 6th. The committee, they tried to do a committee to look into what happened. They did, but it wasn't as bipartisan as people want.
I don't think they looked into what the breach of police stations, county buildings with BLM. There was no committee for that.
No, I'm talking about January 6th, though.
I know. And I'm saying it's a double standard. And when we get rid of the two-tier justice system, then there will be an ability to have justice. But right now, the January 6th is isolated and weaponized to divide us.
That was all contrived, in my opinion. There's more than enough proof out there for me to believe that nefarious people actually did the breach to begin with while he was speaking, by the way, before he said to go there, etc. And this commie committee right now that is being as far as I'm concerned, it has absolutely no merit whatsoever for the American people, and definitely not for me, okay? It has one goal, and that is to take one man down. Well, there's more of us than just that one man. If there's one thing that Donald J. Trump gave to every one of us, he truly pointed us in the direction of we the people instead of we the government. And that is truly what I feel blessed from that man and the movement, okay? But the point is, right now, we're at a crossroads, okay? We're in a civil war, whether we like it or not.
Well, I don't view January 6th as the great insurrection that the media and the government want us to believe it is.
What do you see it as?
I see it as expressing ourselves. I see it, and again, if you look into the information that the people who are presenting information here have for you, then you can clearly see that there's infiltration from many different aspects of the government itself. I mean, if you watch if you watch the trials where they were asking a member of the FBI, can you say if you had informants there or if you had agent provocateurs there? They couldn't answer. They refused to answer, right? What does that say? Now I have to worry about my own government sabotaging me when I'm just in a place, expressing my First Amendment right. And that's what I view January 6th as.
Actually, rural white Americans may own the most flags, but they are the least patriotic Americans. And this is not my thinking. There are studies after studies that show these are the people that are more likely to result to violence if they don't get their way politically. These are the people who are most xenophobic, most anti-immigrant, most anti-anybody's religion that is not theirs. These people are actually the least American. MAGA movement, rural white voters are the least Americans. Yet, they own the most paraphernalia, so people go along with it. They also have an oversized influence on our elections. Think about it. All of the states in the middle of this country has less population than does California. Yet, we hear people all the time talking about the importance of seeing what the voters in the heartland are saying. There's less voters in the heartland than there are in California. Have you ever heard of a news anchor or anyone say Republicans need to figure out a way to win urban spaces? No, because they know these are more diverse and less white spaces. And this is how we allow the minority of people or population that is rural white people to have this oversized influence in our population, and nobody is talking about it. And it's dangerous. It's beyond dangerous. It gives us people like Boebert, who can actually run on patriotism against a 20-year plus Marine Corps veteran who has a Purple Heart, which implies that he was injured in war, who did not show up to the Capitol on January 6th to burn down or hang the vice president, the then vice president, and Mike Pence, who is not loyal to Trump, who cares nothing about our institutions. Let's be serious. We need to get serious about what patriotism means. And it is not white rural Americans. It is not those who support MAGA. It is not those who support Boebert. She ditched her last district because she knows she couldn't win over there. And now she has a fight in a real Marine Corps veteran, a real American patriot, someone who has dedicated his entire working life to this country. Let's see what the voters say about that. Let's see how much they believe in what they're saying. If they really are patriotic, if they really do support our veterans. Her record doesn't show that, and his does.
Finally went past her green Converses. Thank you. Have a nice day.
We hope you take action on gun violence prevention.
Take a picture of that. God.
Last week, there was a video of me throwing an item away that I had received randomly from somebody in the hallway. I was walking, had AirPods in, tried to tell the man that I was occupied, and he continued. And as he was handing me what turned out to be a memorial pen, I recognized him as a man who came at me very aggressively just a few weeks prior during a press conference.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and Lauren Boebert threw away a Uvalde school shooting pin and blamed it on her AirPods. A group of Uvalde parents that lost children in the deadly school shooting were in Washington, D.C. advocating for sensible gun safety measures. They were passing out pins that were in the likeness of green Converse tennis shoes.
I want to apologize for the appearance of that, but that's not at all what it was. I simply did not want to receive anything from this aggressive man who has been harassing me and my office.
Mate Rodriguez was a 10-year-old little girl that went to school at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, and never came home. The sneakers that she was wearing was the only certain way to identify her after the horrific shooting. The little girl's green Converse sneakers became the symbol in the Uvalde community and nationwide. Actor Matthew McConaughey took them to Washington, D.C. and spoke at the White House on her behalf and for the other families that lost children that day.
Maite wore green high-top Converse with a heart she had hand-drawn on the right toe because they represented her love of nature. Camilla's got these shoes. Can you show these shoes, please? Wore these every day. Green Converse with a heart on the right toe. These are the same green Converse on her feet that turned out to be the only clear evidence that could identify her after the shooting.
Members of Lives Robbed, an organization that was founded by families of the children killed in Robb Elementary, were handing out pins to members of Congress to advocate for sensible gun safety measures. Since the tragedy in Uvalde, the Texas governor has offered thoughts and prayers, and Texas Senator Ted Cruz has skipped out on crafting sensible gun legislation, blamed mental health while voting no on mental health measures. Colorado's Lauren Boebert tried to play the victim and say that the man who gave her the pin was aggressive. The man's son was among the 19 children at Robb Elementary that was killed. And if you have seen the viral video displaying Lauren Boebert's disgusting arrogance, you'll see for yourself that the only one being aggressive was Colorado's Clanny Oakley. In the video clip, the man is shown giving Boebert a pin and saying thank you very much. He wasn't hostile.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
We hope you take action on gun violence prevention.
Take a picture of that. God.
Boebert apologized for the perception of arrogance, self-righteous entitlement, and Republican hypocrisy that came with the video of her throwing the green Converse bin in the garbage. She really meant it, and no matter what cockamamie excuse she gives for her actions won't change the fact that she's a low-life thug for the Freedom Caucus. Instead of owning up to the fact that she's an NRA puppet, she openly showed her disdain for the victims of school shootings in this country. The truth is that Lauren Boebert doesn't care about your children. When it comes down to it, Lauren Boebert is only looking out for herself. Imagine the backlash if she kept the pin and the NRA lobbyists saw that. She could lose money, and that's the bottom line. Everything that nasty little puppet does is because someone else is pulling the strings. Lauren Boebert's AirPods didn't have anything to do with her actions. She's a liar. She looked right at the guy, read the card, and went straight to the trash can. Video evidence is not friendly to MAGA lies, hate, fear, and disinformation. She gave a trash can apology that was insincere in response to rightful criticism. Lauren Boebert is a lying, conniving moron, and she's not fooling anyone. She knew what she was doing, and that's a fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.